ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
Yesterday I played a clip because I've been sitting in this understanding of the propaganda mill and how it works, right? You know, in Nazi Germany, it was the cartoons and the barrage of these little images of Jewish people as being, you know, rats and vermin, and you know that was the language, and they were the money grabbers, and the you know, and they were greedy, and they were inhumane, and the barrage on the psyche of the people allowed for their neighbors to be rounded up, put in the cars, trains, and carted off to concentration camps. And as the literal ashes of these burned bodies were cascading down over the German citizenry, they did not flinch because they had already been conditioned that this was okay. These people were vermin and rats, and they were killing society, and every place they go they bring this and that trope. So I get the ADL forming to stomp out any kind of negativity, because when you let that thing in, it's like yeast.
You know, I literally just said this in the podcast that's coming out next week, is, you know, you've given inch, very soon you'll be giving miles. So they trying to stop the inches. Like, no.
Yes. And you can't be mad about it. And the thing about the tropes, you can find the shred of truth in it, right? So that the lie always is right there. You know, it's the little bit of truth that's in there that makes the lie so palpable, right? So we receive the lie because we know, oh yeah, I do think that about Jews. I do think that about Black people.
Right.
I think that about Black people, and I'm Black. So of course, maybe it's true. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
So I feel like we need to be like almost swing that pendulum all the way to the other side. And be intentional about how we talk about ourselves, especially in quote unquote mixed company, but especially when we're with each other. Practice makes perfect. So talking about ourselves and not allowing people to say things in our presence. Like, I think we have to be even more vigilant. So I played a clip yesterday. This lady on TikTok was talking about white people not bathing, having good hygiene. And she said, I've been to 20 countries, and I'm white, and I've dated everybody, and hands down, white people have the worst hygiene in the world. And they don't wash. They don't have a concern for it. And I was like, what if that's your narrative? If you identify as white. By the way, white is a made-up construct. I did a whole trigger warning. Of course, I hesitated even bringing that clip to the airways because I don't want to be the purveyor of negative commentary about other groups, because I know that it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. I don't want to be a part of it. At the same time, I think if you get enough of this yourself and you get the mirror held up, perhaps you will start to think, I don't like how that feels. So to my point, I got an email from somebody who identifies as white, and I heard what you said yesterday, and my wife is white, and she bathes every day. And I was like, okay, well then that lady wasn't talking about your wife. Why do you have to defend it?
Responding? Why are you responding?
Yes, right. But that's a natural thing, right? So and it's part of I think the mechanism of propaganda is it forces the person or the people, the group that you're talking about, to have to defend the lie. We got to get, oh no, the Black people aren't criminals. You know, we have to see my uncle.
Overcompensate.
Yes. And I said, so then they've won on two fronts. Because now they're in your head, making you have to show up to work, making sure you're not the angry Black woman, when you might need to be the angry Black woman on your job so that it can get done and people can stop disrespecting folk.
Anger is healthy. There's a time and a place, right? There's a way to do it. So, you know, what I'm hearing in this moment is that stereotypes in many cases originate from some experiences that have been consistent enough for people to consider them true. Okay. It's happened to enough folks that we can be like, well, yeah, that does sound a I'm around this type of person, okay? And that if that stereotype is negative, be very, very careful about spinning your wheels defending it against it. Like, because you're eating the time. You're eating my time. Defending myself against the little thing, right? So I'm so busy working on the little thing that I don't even notice the big thing that's happening as a whole. So we can't have a conversation about the real truth because I'm distracted by the little thing.
And the propaganda or the stereotype was also created.
Correct.
So if you flood somebody's community with heroin and then crack, and then you criminalize the crack at a schedule much higher than cocaine, which then incarcerates the people, then you turn around and say 13% of the population, 50% of the crime. You created the statistic, but you don't then turn around and say 50% of the exonerations, because that doesn't quite. But you created the narrative to create the stereotype, the conditions to create the very thing. You know, you talk about criminal blah 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 or violence. You flood the community with crack, and then you strip them of resources. I saw this great documentary about the Bronx and how that Robert Moses, that evil piece of work, destroyed a whole community. And the people still tried to build community in the midst of having no resources, tried to take over an abandoned building and fix it up on the weekend. Everybody brought tools and stuff to have a place to live. If you've destroyed everything and people are now poor, hungry, and desperate, and then you flood the community with guns, there's going to be and drugs, and then you've incentivized
enabling
children. Oh my goodness. And then, oh, look at these criminals. Or like in California recently, you pay a group of young people to go smash and grab, and then the cameras come and they're all black kids, but you are the person that's
set it up.
We have to fight it, but let the right people fight it. And this is why media is important. And those of us in media have to do a better job of not just reporting, showing up and putting a mic in front of Sweet Brown's face. Right. Because it's good, it's entertaining, or some child on the street because it's entertaining, and actually get to the truth and tell the whole story.
It's the narrative. It's exactly what you said about narrative. It's like, what's the real story behind what I'm seeing right now? The thing that you're seeing is just the output. So what is the through line that got me to this output? Like the real one. What is the actual, thing that, incited this thing that we are discussing? The thing about this that's so interesting is I do think that there's some labor, like there is a point where you should stand up for or push back against stereotypes that are inappropriate. But I also think that you have to think about what's worth your time. Like, I don't personally think.
But that's Amber. Sorry, that's individual.
That's
but the Jewish people have a whole. They have a couple of organizations.
Correct.
Just dedicated the internet.
Yep.
It's their job.
Yeah. But that was why I was gonna say, like, I think that, like, you have to kind of make a decision that I'm not. Where are you doing it? Because if you have an organization to do this for you, you personally don't have to involve yourself, okay? Because it's being handled. But if you don't, I think that you have to decide what is the space, in which I am willing to spend time on the small things that are stereotypes, that are negative tropes, that are blah, blah. How much energy am I going to spend on it? And should I spend that energy here? So, like, I'm not spending any energy on the internet arguing with what's probably a bot, right? So when I see something that's online, I'm like, yeah, absolutely not. And I continue on with my life. I think we have to get better in the absence of having a vehicle that does it for Black folks. I think we have to get better at discerning when it is worth the effort. And more importantly, making sure that it is supported by the effort to actually give you the narrative behind. Like, you want to talk about Black on Black crime? Okay, let's talk about how people commit crimes in their own neighborhood. Like, the real data is that people commit crimes against people that they live with, and we live in a segregated society. Like, so let's talk about that. Like, give people the whole piece instead of just here's the stereotype and that's wrong. No, it's wrong. And by the way, here's the whole story.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will